Hey everyone, here we have this 2010 Ford Fusion Hybrid. We're going to go ahead and swap the hybrid battery. First things first, we're going to pop the hood and disconnect the 12-volt battery. Alright, so with the hood popped, you're going to go ahead and use a 8mm socket and disconnect the battery. Just like that. All right, so next step is to fold down the rear seats, which I made a video on how to do that. I'll link it in the description so you can check that out. All right, so here we have the hybrid battery exposed. As you can see, the connectors and the service disconnect plug. We're gonna go ahead and pull that just to disable any high voltage from going to the battery while we work on this. All right, so the next step is to remove these plugs right here. So you're gonna go ahead and push this down and pry this up. And I should unplug this cable here. For this lower one, what you're going to do is unplug this white connector, and then on the back side there's kind of like a plug, and then or a little tab. You press that and this slides right out. Moving over to the other side of the battery, we have this black connector here and this bigger connector down here, and then you're just going to want to pull this clip out just to free it so it's free from the battery. All right, so with all the connectors removed, we're going to go ahead and remove this ground plug here. In order to remove that, you're going to go ahead and pull on this seat part, pull it back. It just clips holding it in, and if you can get in there and see, that is the 8mm bolt that we're going to go ahead and remove. So we got that ground removed with the 8mm bolt. Just leave it to the side, and we're going to go ahead and start removing the hybrid battery from the vehicle. So as you can see, there is these 13mm bolts here, 2 on each side, and there's going to be 2 on the rear as well. So 2 on the inside, on the driver and passenger side, as you can see. We're going to go ahead and remove those, and we'll go to the trunk and remove the other 4. Just take your 13mm socket. That pops right out. Same goes for the top. It's going to be the same for the other side. Take those bolts and set them aside. We will use them for the reinstallation. All right, so this next step is to remove this little plastic piece here. It's just about 4 10mm nuts, as you can see. There's one right there. There's the second one. And there's the third and fourth. Right, so with this piece out, you're just gonna want to pull it out and set it to the side for now. So stepping outside the vehicle, we're gonna go ahead and open the trunk and expose the hybrid battery. So you're gonna have to remove these panels here. They're just held in by some Christmas tree clips. And so if we get in here, we can see the bolts that hold the hybrid battery in place. There's 2 13mm bolts on each side, as you can see. We're gonna go ahead and remove that bolt and that bolt right there. So just to show you guys what I'm using, I got the Milwaukee M18 Impact with the 1/4 inch extension and the 13mm socket. The extension just makes it easier to access these bolts instead of reaching in all the way. So we're gonna go ahead and remove these bolts just like that. Same thing goes for the other side. Reach in there. Make sure you set these bolts somewhere safe. So with all the bolts loose now, we're gonna go ahead and remove the hybrid battery from the vehicle. It should be free. Yep, it's nice and loose. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna need an extra pair of hands to pull it off from the rear seat. All right, so with the hybrid battery loose, it can just come right out. I recommend using an extra set of hands and pull this out and we'll install the new one. All right, so we got the hybrid battery out, and so a quick note, you don't have to remove those brackets, but loosening them does help with removal of the battery. As you can see, we've got the battery pulled out here. All right, so here we have the used hybrid battery that we picked up from a junkyard for a couple $100. We're gonna go ahead and throw that in the vehicle, and we'll basically reverse all the steps and get it in there. All right, so we got the new hybrid battery back in the vehicle, and essentially it's just reversing the steps that we did to take it out. And you go ahead and plug everything back in, plug in the 12-volt battery, and give it a start. Just make sure everything works.